This is the center of our spoke garden with a walnut tree in the middle. We had a lot of square area, not a lot, but a little bit before, and we decided we wanted to break it up. So we decided on spokes, and they're not particularly precise. We use no compass, no protractor, anything like that. Here on the south side, roughly, we have a spoke of raspberries, a variety of raspberries, and I added nasturtiums because I read somewhere that they were good bug repellents and companion plants for raspberries. However, I may have drowned them out a little. Next year I'll have to put less there. And moving southeast, we have blue potatoes. I had planted lots of white potatoes in the fall because I read that in an Irish article that you could plant things in the fall and therefore easier spring chores. But in the spring we decided we wanted blue varieties as well, so this is one of 3 blue varieties. And in the distance we have asparagus that we planted a couple of years ago, and we still have not harvested, but we're hoping to next year. To the right of it is a strawberry patch, which was very prolific this year. And in the asparagus bed there's a little walnut tree, which we're allowing to grow a bit, and we'll transplant probably in the fall. Heading east, we have another strawberry patch with some gooseberry shrubs in it. I think they're called shrubs. And against the wall there's an old grapevine, which has been here we don't know how long. Over here we have one of many Mirabelle plum trees on the farm, and we have dried them, frozen them, of course eaten them fresh. We've made juice out of them, canned them. Last year and the year before we had bumper crops, but unfortunately this year we had a frost after the flowers were out, so I don't think we're going to have any crop, possibly. Over here I have a few artichokes that I started from seed, so they're practically still microscopic and being watered enthusiastically in hopes that they don't perish. Here's a fig tree with some sorrel under it. And coming back to the spokes, we're on the northeast side now, and we have bush beans, compliments of our neighbor Paul. We've struggled a little bit with black fly, but this northeastern spoke is doing quite well. Moving right along, we have 2 sisters. 3 sisters is corn, peas, and beans. It's Native American, and the beans grow up the corn stalk. It's runner beans, and the squash acts like a mulch. We don't have beans in this bed, but we do have corn and squash, and a self-sown tomato. Here we have a different variety of purple potatoes, or blue potatoes, and yet another one. We'll figure out which one we like the best and keep propagating that. Here's a bed of white potatoes and some squash. I think this is potimarron, and I think we have courge musqué here. And the flowers are part of our wildflower mix. They were self-sown and we like them, so we decided to leave them. One more squash, I'm not sure what kind, some more tomatoes. And on the trellis we have runner beans and peas, and in the bed we have some brassica, some beets, and some turnips, and one big zucchini plant, which I guess you call courgette here. What do you call it in England?
Yeah, courgette.
Yeah. Oh, we've been more influenced by Italians in the U.S. than by English or French, so for us it's zucchini. This is a kiwi trellis. We have 2 female plants. The male died, so we have to buy another one. But in the meantime, I just threw some garlic under there as I was running out of space. This is our onion, garlic, and shallot bed. And I've just planted some beans in between, and as you can see, they are actually coming up. Another little nursery that needs persistent watering if it's going to make it now in this dry spell. This bed has 2 watermelon plants that I was hoping would take over the whole bed, but they haven't yet. One is right here and the other's behind the chamomile. I've left the chamomile because no point in leaving it bare until the plants grow. Here's a row of tomatoes, and on the back are some parsnips that I planted early in the spring. I planted a mix of things and I thought it was too early and they had all died, but one day I came back and there was a full-grown parsnip community. This calendula I planted last September, possibly October, not really knowing what I was doing, and I afterwards thought, gee, that was a waste. They'll never make it through the winter, and there's not enough time for them to flower, but in fact they did make it through the winter. And we had a whole crop, and then I cut them back, and now this is the second crop. These are squashes that grew in a bucket, self-sown in a bucket, and I just put them around the compost pile. This one is zucchini. We ate the first one yesterday, but the other 2, I don't know what they are yet. And here we have broccoli, which is going to seed. We're letting the seeds dry so we can sow them in some of the pig fields. When the pigs root and they leave some areas bare, we'll take the pigs out of there for a while as we let the pig park reestablish, and we're going to experiment with throwing some of our excess seeds in there. Here's tomatoes. Over here we have cornichons and cucumbers. A couple of rows of parsnips. It's a parsnip-loving household. And more calendula. A massive fennel, which doesn't give a bulb, but I harvest the seeds for tea. This is tansy, which is a bug repellent. It's a flower. And over here we have carrots, peas, lettuce going to seed for future planting, more carrots and beets. And more peas and more tomatoes. Also, that ratty looking plant over there is Swiss chard, which we're also saving the seeds from for the pig parks. In the polytunnel, I have heat-loving plants, tomatoes, eggplant, and okra. This mint grows by itself, needs weeding constantly. This is my nursery. I put it up in a crib because on the ground the slugs were getting to the seedlings. And I leave weeds in the aisles to keep it alive, keep it good for worms and things, and also because we eat a lot of them. This is pigweed that we eat. We also eat fat hen, or in the U.S. we call it lamb's quarters, and also purslane. This here is an eggplant, and there's some nice big okra down there.